Hi everyone, good day. This is the group 3. At this juncture, we'll present to you our remedial writing instruction program proposal which we adapted, a remedial writing case study of Brian Thompson, a case study from New Zealand with Dysgraphia. Alright, so let's start first with our learning competencies which we actually adapted or got it from the grade 10 LC, specifically in writing aspect, which it's EN10WC-LC-12.2. It's formulate a statement of opinion or assertion. Well, the second one would be expand ideas using principles of cohesion and coherence. At this point, let's talk about the learner's profile, starting with his name. He's Brian Thompson, or you can call him BT. He's 15 years old, and the nationality is not being emphasized nor stated in the study, but the only thing that we could have an idea there is that he's born in England, and after 7 years, the family migrated to New Zealand. And his grade level that time that when the study conducted is in grade 10, and he's being diagnosed with dysgraphia. Is a common writing disabilities which defines as neurological disorder characterized by writing disabilities.
Good day everyone, my name is James Steve G. Cruz and I will be presenting our findings for a case study of Brian Thompson. BT was 15 years old and 3 months when this testing had begun. He was a year 10 student at a state integrated high school for boys. And as reported by his mother, he had a normal delivery. And he reached all of his developmental milestones on time, except for his language. He was a late talker, and there were concerns about his hearing. From about 8 months, he suffered from ear infections and grommets were inserted for about 3 years. At 4.5 years, he entered school in England. And as was reported by his teachers, he seemed distracted and didn't always respond when his name is being called. He had as well a poor progress when it comes to reading in terms of the phonic instruction he is receiving. So when BT was 7 years old already, their family moved in New Zealand. It is not surprising that BT had initial difficulty when adapting the new environment. BT had initial difficulty in adapting the New Zealand curriculum because the curriculum there was purely a text-centered approach. It has an emphasis on books with increasing levels of difficulty. So this approach he had been receiving was merely different from the phonic instruction he has been receiving from England. Like his father, BT finds drawing as a problem, and his writing is also hardly legible. Of all the 10 topic tests for year 9, BT managed only to finish half of them. BT was administered a series of cognitive and literacy tasks, followed by standard reading and spelling tasks, and lastly, the experimental spelling tasks. Here are the following areas of dysgraphia in the case study that we have discovered for BT's difficulty. First area is he has a specific spelling difficulty and followed by slow writing speed. That would be all. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I am Rainier Antonio Vidama and I will be reporting about goals and methods. In our case study, we have 2 goals. The first one is slow writing speed, which has 2 objectives. Objective number 1 is to write a set of writing tasks at sufficient speed. And number 2 is to improve handwriting speed and stroke of letters. And the second goal that we have in this case study is the specific spelling difficulty, which has three objectives. The first one is build phonological, orthographic, and morphemic awareness in writing. The second one is capable of being aware in basic spelling rules. And lastly, proficiency of spelling multisyllabic words. Then we have the methods, which the first one is roles in this case study. The student role holds the key in the learning process where is given task that aligns to the needs of the learner, which is to foster development and overcome the struggling area of the learner. The second one is the teacher's role, which is to provide materials, feedbacks, and monitor the learner's progress. Lastly, the administrator's role is the essence of evaluating the proposed strategies, activities, and assessments of remedial teachers in order to aid the learning gap of the learner. And these are the proposed methods. Construct and propose remedial writing course program to remediate gaps of the writing difficulties of the participant. The second one is conduct remedial program to remediate gaps of the writing difficulties of the participant.
Good day to all of you. My name is Desiree A. Galon and I will introduce to you our course outline. So there are three parts of this, which are the proposed program, the course design, and the course objectives. So first is the proposed program. So this is for remedial writing instruction program in grade 10 level, especially for Brian Thompson. So our class schedule is 1 hour a day per week and our class duration are 2 weeks. So after class, we will remediate his writing difficulties in 4 days in a week, so 1 hour a day. So this course is designed to remediate the writing difficulties of the grade 10 learner, which is Brian Thompson. So this program aims to achieve a successful writing speed and word spelling correctly. It is aligned according to the needs of the target learner to develop their writing skills towards the intended level. Now let's move on to our course objective. So this course objective are aligned to our goals that my co-member mentioned earlier. So there are two difficulties that are mentioned, the specific spelling difficulty and the slow writing speed. So our course objectives for specific spelling difficulty is first is to recognize common irregular and negative words from the earliest stage of spelling. Next is to explain basic rules. And third, and lastly, identify the multisyllabic and unfamiliar words. And lastly, slow writing speed. So first is to improve handwriting speed and write a paragraph with the topic sentence, support, and concluding sentence. So that's our course outline. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. We have now reached the part to discuss our weekly lesson plan. The essence is for learners to communicate and practice what they will learn and how their goals will be assessed. And it also helps instructors to organize content, material, time, instructional strategies, and assistance in the classroom, particularly to aid the difficulty of our targeted learner who has trouble in his spelling and ability to write efficiently. I am Sherwin Glenn Ali, and I am going to discuss our lesson plan for week 1. This is in line with our course objectives, in which one of our focus in remediation includes recognizing common irregular and negative words from the earliest stages of spelling. This lesson plan primarily deals with English 10 learners, which were coined to our course goals: specific spelling difficulty and slow writing speed. So the objective of this lesson plan covers the 3 domains of learning, which are cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. And at the end of the 60-minute period, the students will be able to recognize negative words, select double negative words, and express their own statement of negative words in a meaningful context. Our activity for this lesson plan includes vibe check. The students are tasked to identify negative words from positive words through writing a positive sign if it reinforces a positive message, and negative sign if it presents a negative thought or idea. This activity allows learner to recognize negative words that will also help them in aiding their difficulty for spelling. For our second lesson plan for the first week, our objectives includes identifying common irregular verbs, manipulate common irregular verbs, and evaluate their own statement of common irregular verbs in a meaningful context. In this lesson plan, we incorporate the activity Remember Me. The teacher will provide a table consisting of a present, past tense, and past participle of a common verb. The students are then tasked to fill out its respective counterpart. At the end of the activity, the students are expected to increase their phonological and orthographic knowledge, in which it takes a huge effect towards the students' efficiency in spelling. Now, this ends my discussion for our Week 1 lesson plan. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Novers, and today I will be presenting my lesson plan with the topic 8 Essential Spelling Rules that focuses on explaining the basic rules, since the learning difficulties of students are difficulties of spelling and slower writing speed. So here's my objectives. First, evaluate the importance of spelling rules. Second is recognize the techniques of each rules. Third, spell the word correctly. So, in the first objective, since the learners have difficulties in terms of spelling and slow writing, so it is helpful for them to evaluate the importance of spelling rules, to know how it is important to have an idea in spelling. So, in this juncture, the students will be able to have an activity, which is, do I need to add, for them to have an idea where to add s or ies to make the word plural. So with this activity, they can practice themselves how to evaluate the importance of spelling rules. So the second objectives, it is the recognize the techniques of each rule. So it is really important as a learner to know those techniques of how spelling goes on. So in these activities, the learners can build a word train. In this juncture, the students can spell out the word from a card and assemble it. It is based on their rule for them to form a sentence and matching the letters. Lastly, it spelled the words correctly, since they already know the importance and techniques of spelling rules. Students will have an activity which is correctness. So in this activity, the students will write what is the correct spelling of the given word presented. So this implies that in this lesson, every student will understand and learn how it is important to know the spelling and what are those techniques they need to know as a learner. And again, my name is Noverus Moda. That's all.